Hey, what's going on, you kings and queens? Hope you're having the best day yet, and thank you for joining. Hope you had awesome holidays and Merry Christmas. And today, since the New Year's is right around the corner, this is all about goal setting. You have to actually make goals that are actually attainable and achievable. But so often in life do we go through our days and our months and our weeks trying to have this huge goal. We always fall short. Or we try and get there and we get distracted or get discouraged. There are all different components and factors behind that. And I've been doing these strategies for years now. I've made it further than I've ever had before because of this. So this is going to change your life forever. And I know it's going to help you out. So before we even get started, diving deep in what kind of goals to have, how to make good goals, comment below. What goals do you have right now or have in the past that didn't just quite work out for you? Once we know what we want, it becomes way easier. And there are a few ways to really set up goals to have it be super attainable. And the first thing, it really starts from having a big why. What is your why behind making these goals? Because if you don't have a specific reason why we're doing something, we'll either get distracted and get discouraged and not want to do it more. And I get asked, how do I stay so motivated and keep pursuing my dreams, my goals? And because I have a huge why, I want to make the world a better place. I want to help people become the best selves. And I want to help businesses market themselves so they can get more clients and get more reach and help more people with their products and services. Having that why makes a huge difference, which I'll go deeper into that in a little bit. But before we get started on what my why is, comment below what is your why. Also, if you're watching this live, hashtag king. If you're watching this, king or queen. If you're watching this at a replay, hashtag royal. This helps me see who's engaged and who's here, and really keep the conversations going. Because these are like, 10 to 20 minutes long. That way it helps us progress faster through it. But for SMART goals, it really stems from 5 things. We'll make sure it's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and also time bound. Those are the 5 steps of having SMART goals, which will break it down even more for you. So you've probably seen people on New Year go to the gym. Well, sooner than the year start, my New Year's resolution, I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going to gain some weight. And it's packed for like 30 days, maybe in a few months. And then it kind of dwindles away, no one's there anymore. That is really because of one factor. The goals aren't set down into these 5 steps. Even more than that, they're thinking of too large of a scale. If I say I want to make $1 million, but I just say that, it means not a whole lot. I have to tell myself, okay, to make $1 million, I need to make around $83,000 and $333 every single month. It breaks down to about $2,700 every single day for me to get to that point of making $1 million. That makes it way more achievable because we know how specific it really is. And maybe you want to lose weight or gain weight, we have to break it down to 3 more steps after the SMART goals. We have it be a process goals, a performance goals, and an outcome goals. Those are the next 3 tiers below that. And a process goal is mostly about behavior. What will we do to change our behavior to make sure that happens? It'd be like, my behavior is I need to drink water 2 times a day and eat 20 grams of protein, which is not enough, about 80 grams of protein 5 times a week. That is behavior. And then the performance is like I need to increase my weight by 10 pounds every couple of days. So I need to run an extra kilometer or mile every single week. That's performance. And the outcome goal is I'm trying to lose X amount of weight, 10 pounds or gain 10 pounds or whatever the case might be for you. Having those 3 steps makes it way more achievable so you don't get distracted and derailed from our goals. And then going back into SMART goals, it really stems from these 5 things. Number 1, like I said before, is specific. If I just say to you that I want to make my goal to make $1 million or $1 billion or even $1 trillion, it doesn't hold a lot of weight because it's not specific enough. How much money do I need to make a day, a month, and an hour? But more than that, you also need to work backwards from our goals. It looks like this. If I need to make $1 million versus $83,000, I need to talk to at least 10 people every single day. Because the law averages, you probably close 1 in 10 people. If you're really good, probably 3 or 4 in 10. It's just less of a chance, it's higher of a chance that's making that happen for you. But having those things set down in stone makes it super specific. Not only having the price, but also having how much you need to do it. Like the gym, for example, if you want to work out better, you have to set yourself up for success. So if I want to gain 10 pounds, I need to be thinking specifically, alright, for me to gain 10 pounds within this year, I need to gain, 0.5 pounds every few weeks. Half a pound. And then go from there. And then eventually, I'm going to get one step closer. I see it on a day-to-day basics, rather than just an overall goal that can help us, that will make us discouraged because it's so large. You want to have big goals and also short-term goals, which I'll get to a little later on. But that's the specific goals. And those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jordan Suber. I'm a 2-time published author with about 5 stars. I'm a marketing agency. I help businesses and entrepreneurs turn their dreams into reality, helping them from obscurity to authority while putting their brand into the spotlight so they can get more clients and more leads to grow their business and help more people. I've been doing this for years now, and I've helped over thousands and thousands of people around the world live life on their own terms by doing this. And a lot of this have happened for my life because of these goals I have. Even though I was homeless off and on from 12 to 18, or less likely to succeed in school, having my 6th, 7th grade teacher tell me that I would never do anything in my life besides push a cart for a living at age 6. All those things happened, didn't hold me back because I had these goals that I wanted to achieve, and I make sure I was making sure every single day I'm becoming better and better. Because think about this one concept. If you become 1% better every single day for 365 days of the year, by the end of the year, you're 365% better than when you started. And it's even more. Okay, it's exponential. So 1% becomes 2%, becomes 4%, becomes even more. So the numbers on that aspect are even higher. So my main goal in life is to make sure I'm getting closer to my dream of having a huge empire, helping more people live on their own terms, giving them resources and the tools to do that, and having a huge marketing agency, and having jobs and schools and hospitals and big businesses and even towns and cities. If I tell myself, if I'm better at one skill every single day, by the time I'm in my 40s or 30s even, I would have way more success than I do now, be so much closer to that huge goal. I see it on a day-to-day basis. So I'm super specific about what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it. It goes to our next step. Is it measurable? So having a goal that isn't measurable becomes so much harder for us than it needs to be. Like I said, losing weight or making money, it's measurable. Maybe you want to start a business, that's measurable. I need to get my LLC. I need to learn this skill. I need to meet these people. I need to have this hosting. I need to have this website. I need to make this page on Facebook or Instagram. I need to have this networking event. I need to let people know I'm open. There are all different steps that's measurable to make it happen. But there's some things in life, that aren't measurable. Which is For me, I feel like it's harder to find the things that are not measurable versus the things that are measurable, but they're definitely out there. We just gotta make sure we have that in mind. As soon as we know it's measurable, we can make these steps to break it down to smaller goals on a day-to-day basis. It makes it way, way easier. And the next step is attainable. And the best way to see if it's attainable is ask yourself, has somebody else out there done what you want to do? Because there's no one out there who's that much better than you, or even better than you in the general, who are all different in their own way. So if someone else can do this, so can you. So it's super attainable for you to make that happen. And for me, I know people have made $1 trillion for their business, helped a lot of people with it. So I'm trying to do the same thing, but even more. I know people have gained 10 pounds in a year or less and be their ideal body shape. I know people have started businesses, or I know people have overcame super hard things and now living life on their own terms. So this works in more than one way. It could be something that maybe right now you're going through a bad breakup, or you was homeless, or you're sleeping in a car, you're having a hard time with your family, you're not doing good in school, your job. All these things will help you get past that. Which is why my first 2 videos I made in this group with everybody was, one, how to have a growth mindset, which is a fixed mindset. That really stems from. And the next one was all about having no more limited beliefs, and having a limitless belief, a infinite belief system. Because my first 2 books, my first book especially, Perfectly Perfect, is all about mindset. I knew I had to change my mindset to get to where I'm at now. Because if our mind's not there, we will never be ready. It doesn't matter if I give you all the tools and resources to live off your own terms, to make that business you want to do whatever you want, if you don't have the right mindset for it. But the first 2 steps is about that. Later on in our videos, I'll be talking way more about, how to actually grow your business, do marketing, how to do branding, how to do these steps to become our best selves every single time. But until then, this is our foundation. Because if we have something built on sand, it's gonna fall. So this makes it way easier for us to make this happen for us. And thank you all for joining. If you're watching right now, hashtag King or Queen if you're watching this live, and hashtag Royal if you're watching this as a replay. And let me know if you have any goals already in mind for you, so I can help you guys out in real time. And if just watching the replay, definitely send me a message. I'm happy to help you as well. And make sure it's measurable though. And then the next one is relevant. And this one normally throws people off, because when you say relevant, well, of course it's relevant. It's my goal. How could it not be relevant? Well, it's simple. Maybe you're trying to do something that isn't going to help you in your life, or isn't attuned to what you want or who you are as a person. Like for me, I might have a goal that I want to be the best singer in the whole world, but I'm not good at singing. So it's not too relevant with me. Of course, anyone can learn how to do stuff, but I am a huge believer that our strengths are something to focus the most on. We should still develop our weaknesses. So that's also a strength. But if I'm naturally talented at helping people, or seeing ways to bridge that gap to get more people to see a business and grow that, I want to focus most of my time on that, versus me trying to be a national singer if I'm not good at singing. That's just one example. There are tons out there. But we'll make sure it's relevant to what you want, and also a little bit realistic, so the extra R in there is not normally there. And the last one is probably the most important one. It has to be a time bound. So if it doesn't have a time to it, like I said, by status, any goal or any dream without a time or deadline is still a dream. It's not a goal. It's a huge factor to how we do this. We have to have some kind of goal there to make sure we're always getting there every single day. And a lot of people see their life, they can do more in a year than they can in 40 years. You gotta flip that mindset to say, I can do so much in these 40 years and not be so romanticized on what we can do in a year. You can do a lot in a year, but you gotta think on a long-term scale. But most people nowadays are living for the weekends. You know, they're living for that Friday or Saturday, which is not a great lifestyle to have. But when we plan for this huge why we have, with 40 years out, it helps us get way more in tune to our goals. Because if I'm hanging out in the wrong crowd of people, if I'm drinking or smoking or wasting my time as chasing women all the time, I know it's not helping me get closer to my 40-year goal, my 20 or 10-year goal. So it's a huge, huge factor for that aspect. So those are the 5 main aspects for SMART goals, make sure that's achievable for us. So we don't have that gym theory when we go there for a month or 2 and then stop going. And then also when we have the next 3 below that, we have it to be performance-based, and process-based, performance-based, and outcome-based. Those are the 3 next goals behind that one. Now, some extra tips that I do personally that help thousands of people live on their own terms is this other thing. You want to have goals set up for a day, a week, a month, 6 months, a year, 5 and 10 years. So I break my goals down to 7 different things. And some of them, you know, I don't do every single day, or I will round up from 6 months to a year. It really depends on how you want to do it for yourself. But this makes a huge difference about the SMART goals having to be a time bound. So every night before I go to bed, my 24-hour goals, I will write down what I want to do tomorrow. I want to book 5 sales calls. I want to make this video. I want to read this book. I want to learn this course. I want to train my employees on how to do better ads. I want to do something for that day. By making our goals 24 hours beforehand, the night before we go to sleep, we're getting an extra 24 hours in the day. We already know what we're doing. So as soon as we wake up, we know I do this, and this today. And once that's done, we can pretty much stop relaxing. I'm a huge, huge factor not working 16-hour days like I used to, because that defeats the whole purpose of entrepreneurship. It's about freedom and serving other people to become better and have happier lives. So when I do my goals now in the morning, I do my most important stuff, and off all that, and by the end of the day, like a few hours in, I'm pretty much done. Now everything I do after that is stuff I want to do. You know, editing pictures or videos, or mastermind my business, or making phone calls to people I like and love. It helps. And having the week goal, what we want to do within this week, and then within this month, and the 6 months in a year, and then a 10-year plan. Like I said before, we have these big goals that we know we're going to in X amount of time. It becomes way, way easier for us to actually attain them and stay attracted to our goals, because we know if I'm missing school with that actual goal to have a PhD, I will never get to my 10-year goal. If I'm trying to grow this business to be a multi-billion-dollar empire, I have to make sure every single day I'm making sales calls, making more money, helping more people. Otherwise, I'm never going to get there. So all these things are different factors that can make this happen for us. So right down below, what are some of your goals do you have for one day, 1 week, 6 months, a year, 5, or even 10 years? Or even for yourself, which is our next point. There's been a study that we've done for psychology that people who write down their goals are 80% more likely to actually achieve them and attain them than people who don't write down their goals. This guy named Earl Nightingale, who went around his town when he was younger, asking all his people he knew, what are your goals in X amount of years, let's say 10 years. And a lot of them didn't have any goals. But the ones that did, who did not write it down, still wasn't achieving it. However, the people who had these huge goals and wrote them down to paper, with one that he went back to later on the next 10 years, who achieved that and so much more. So even if you don't do it below on the comments thread, for yourself, write down your goals, what you want to have. I have goals on my wall I see every single day to help me stay inspired and remind me of my why. That's a huge factor for you as well, is to have these goals set down in stone or on paper, so you always know exactly how you want to get there and be reminded of it. I even used to, and still do sometimes, write down my goals every single day, like I already had it. I would write down, I have a $1 trillion business, I have helped over 5 billion people, I have the best wife, the best kids, I'm able to travel my life I want to, I have a huge castle I live in where my employees work at from too, I am having hospitals and gardens and schools and greenhouses, the whole 9 yards, built around the whole world. I have all these different goals I write down all the time to make sure I'm always reminded and tricking my mind that I have it. 80 to 90% of our life is controlled by our subconscious. So when we write down, say I have this already, our brain does not know the difference from having it and not having it. We say we have something, it believes it. So when you write down these goals saying I have all this stuff already, it will help us get there even faster. And you also see your goals every single day. You can do this twice a day, once a week. What is best for you is make sure you're writing down your goals at some point in time. Before we get too far down, those of you who are just now tuning in, my name is Jordan Suber. I run a marketing agency called Vibrations Marketing. I'm a 2-time published author. And I literally have came from being homeless off and on, having nothing at all, to now making more money now than I do in a couple of days than I have in a year before. So it's been a crazy adventure for my life and my journey. So now I'm kind of sharing what I've learned with you, help you cut that learning curve and be where you want to be at in your life as well. I also was a psychology major for minor in marketing. I was the top of my class for a 4.0 GPA. I was a full ride student in all honors classes, and I left school to really pursue this instead of going higher and getting a master's degree or a PhD. I stopped and realized that all we have right now is already ours. So if you think you need, more education or more connections or more knowledge or whatever it might be, just know that you're more than enough right now in this very moment to have that. You don't need to have more stuff. You just need to take more action, which is why these goals are so powerful. Having these goals in mind make us action orientated every single day to make sure it happens. And since we're almost past our time, the last tip I want to give you guys is this huge thing I do to help me really get past my main goals. So in life, we've learned that most people don't have trouble really achieving their goals, especially to write them down. It's more that people get their goals and then they're upset because they thought it was too easy. So if that makes sense to you, this will be a huge thing for you right now. Most people are upset because they reached their goals. They just thought it was too easy for them. Why it's so important to have our goals huge. Because you heard that saying, if you shoot for the stars, you will land on the moon. That's behind me. And that's a huge factor to this too. So when I make goals, I have 3 set of goals I do on top of what I just talked about. The first one, is my realistic goal. These are the 2 things I really do for my goals. I have my realistic goals, what I think is actually possible. I want to make 6 figures this year, a month even, or even a year. I want to have a team of 20 people. I want to meet my future queen and get that started. I want to start traveling the world more. Those are my realistic goals that I know I can do. And then I have my huge goals, that I think is almost impossible, which is 10 times more than any of that. There is a third step to this process, right now, I think it's more important to just have these 2 goals there. The next goals, we're having these smart goals, making specific, and so forth, and breaking down the daily thing. So now it's now, 10 times goal. So if I want to make 6 figures, I want to make $1 billion this year. I want to find my queen, and I want to have that be a really thriving relationship. I want to travel to 10 countries this year. I want to be able to donate $100,000 or more to homeless shelters and food banks and so forth. I want to start making my greenhouses and hospitals, starting foundations, scholarships for that, all the things that I can't do right now, how that be my goal. I want to publish another book that be a world bestseller. So all these different things we have in our minds, we see, alright, these are my realistic goals that I know I can make. So it's on paper. But we should be aiming for a 10 times goal. So we're always making progress towards that and can overachieve from our goals. If you don't know who I am right now, I'm a huge overachiever. I'm always trying to do more than I think is possible. And because when I have my goals and I do stuff, I remind myself of the relevant or attainable section of it. So if I know somebody else was giving speeches to a million people at one time, or making a lot of money, or helping a lot of people, I compare myself to that person. Because I don't think anyone's better than anybody else. We're just different. So having yourself to a higher standards makes a huge difference. This is also the main point of this whole thing. It's always raising our standards and ourselves to a higher degree. People we talk to, people we eat, people we date, how we treat ourselves, and how we live our life. They're all major factors that have to have a higher standards. So I cannot wait to see you crush all your goals. 2020 is your year, I promise you. If you use these steps I just laid out for you, you're going to be way more successful than you ever thought or imagined and you have before. Because what I'm doing right now is I'm guaranteed to make this $1 million. I have not made $1 million yet, but I'm getting closer every single day. Because I'm doing these goals. I help 1,000 people around the world because I'm doing these goals and so forth. So all these things are making a huge, huge factor to your life. I promise you, keep your why in mind, how your smart goes, and how your goals to 10x bigger than you think it should be or can be. And you have these things in line, you will guaranteed become successful. Because as always, I believe in you. You're kings and queens, and abundance is your birthright. We're all in this together. It all starts with you. Tag your friends below, smash that like button if you enjoyed this, and share this video with people you think could get some value out of this. People you know who are trying to achieve some big goal, and so they can help get there even faster. I believe we live in a world where everyone can be their best selves to have a happier life and live life on their own terms. The world by itself becomes better. It's all about leading through example. I believe in you all. Love you. Thank you for joining. Have the best day yet.